Right, what I've done here now is I've got my pipes in position, the waste and the hot and cold. Put a spirit level under there, and I've drawn a line. And I've drawn another line on top of the water pipe, like that, right? So what I need to now is measure from this edge here to the centre of the pipe for all three pipes, and then relate it to those two lines on there and drill that. So that's my next job now. Right, if you notice, the earlier flickering is gone. The reason for that is the lights out there are LED and the frequencies obviously conflicting with the frequency of the camera. So now that's off, you haven't got that problem. But I had a hell of a job getting those over that and through that with perfect holes, and I did blow the plasterboard there slightly, but not bothered because I'm tiling it anyway. So, and I blew it slightly down there, look, but again that's covering skirting board, so I'm not bothered. The pipes are in there now. I don't really want to fix this until I check for leaks. I cut a little piece of this off because obviously it's going to be too long, just to put on there, and then I can offer that plasterboard up in place then, and again leave that loose until the water is live. So we get in there. Right then, this is the bathroom so far. You can see I've boarded that little bit there. I've also brought this out with a stud frame and boarded that and cut the coving back. That coving needs rebonding there if I am going to have coving. I've got to tidy that up and then put new coving around there, again if I'm having coving. That stud frame is all in. As you can see, the waste is much better. I threw so much of it out by cutting it back. That is coming from the other room, the other toilet. It was coming through there, but I've had to move it. I cut the hole and I had to reposition it then afterwards. I had to trim the hole slightly bigger, so I filled it with expanding foam. I stoozed out the other side as well, and I've trimmed it back the other side, and I've trimmed that one flush. But it's pointless trimming it there. You know, it's not doing any harm. It's probably adding a bit of extra insulation there, isn't it? And a bit more strength. That overflow pipe is just sitting there. See that? So I need to cap that, cut it back and cap it. I've got to reconnect that waste there. Those pipes will push back a bit more than that. It's been slightly too long there, it's been kicked out slightly, but I haven't plumbed in the water supply for the toilet yet, so I can address that when I sort that. There's no water leak in there. I was testing the flow of that pipe yesterday with some water, and I didn't get the glass there quick enough to catch it, because I had to reposition that pipe and it was a bit too level, but I've raised it slightly now anyway. There's a guy coming in Monday. He's going to tape all these joints for me because he's a dry lining guy, and I normally have Keith to plaster it, but it doesn't need plastering. It's going to be tiled, so this guy's just going to dry line tape it, get all the joints tidy. Panels temporarily off the bath. That tile is only positioned slightly in place. Once the tiles is installed, I'll trim that pipe back a little bit and have it really tight against the tiles. There's a batten there, right? And if need be, I can come off it and make a square here to line up with all these screws. There's a screw hole there, there's one there. That one there lines up with that. I can put another piece in there, make a square so that that's secure. There's a batten there lining up with the holes to fix the sink. This light here, I've ripped it out. I'm just going to disconnect the wires now, and I'll have to fish it through to the centre here because there's a big mirror going there. I've capped those pipes. and then smash the floor up that one. I'm going to bring them across there, and I'm running chrome tails sticking out in a pair of valves and a towel rail there, not the one you may have seen in some of the other videos, because I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use a new one. I need to plasterboard that gap there as well, which to be honest I'd overlooked. I did have plasterboard tight to that edge, but then I had to cut it back because I couldn't get in past the pipes, and in fact if I'd realised I could have left that bit on there, but it doesn't matter. If I just chuck a piece of wood in there and secure the top or the bottom on one side, then that'll be fine. But it's looking good. Obviously this door will need another coat of paint, but I can do that after it's all tiled. But we're getting there slowly. By sort of middle of next week now, these will be plumbed in and I can use them, and I'll pull them out again a day or so before the tiles come. It's looking good. Shows your ass, man.
Oh.
Right then, anyway, boarded up with the light was there. Then we had to make that hole to get the cable. The twat to dry line the wall. I pinched the cable right here, boarded over it, so I had to cut a bit lower just to relieve it and get it out. I drilled the stud there, drilled the hole in, fished the cable out, and there's plenty of length or whatever it's got to go when the mirror's up. So I'm just going to fill that hole now and blend that in with a bit of filler or plaster. All the joints have been filled and taped now, and as you can see that board isn't fixed yet because there's a small amount of plumbing to do that. I've cut 1.5 metre by 400 mm slot there, so I can put some glass blocks and get 2 rows of 7 blocks in there. That's my other bathroom, my ensuite, you can see through there. That will allow the natural light from the window down there, I don't know if you can see it, into this room. That is all been done in thick ply. Oh, the screws poked there. Bastard, I have to grind that off. Didn't see that. All the coving has now been removed. Keith's coming here tomorrow to plaster it all, so I'll drop that light tomorrow. I'll drop that fan. We've got a light coming from there now, so we don't really need that light, and I can turn my spotlights in then once he's finished. Carl's coming tomorrow now. He's going to plumb in the mains water for that. It's plumbed in waste wise, but not for mains water. So by tomorrow afternoon that toilet will be in a usable condition. Although there'll be no number 2s allowed until it's finished with, because I'll have to pull it out with the tiles and I'm not having turd hands. Drill the hole there for the radiator pipe, and the radiator is going to be mounted there, and the pipe's going to go up through that gap 75 mm. I've braced some of these here, but I need to put some more bracing pieces in there, and then some of those bits of floor can be reused, but I might have to buy a new piece. I'm going to cut this plasterboard down, just fit that slot there. Have a look here. I put a great big solid piece of wood there, which was up there. I've taken it down and I've used it. You can see that's absolutely solid. It's fixed, and the plasterboard's fixed to it. And that'll support my glass blocks easy. Yeah, so there we have it. And then once this room's finished, that room's next. Right then, you can see lights flickering again because they're low energy. Anyway, so look at my bathroom. Watch how it's dark, look. Open the door, the light comes on. That's because of that sensor there. I like the fluorescent lights, they start up half working and they get brighter and brighter then. And they're just as bright as a normal light. Anyway, I've quite a bit of progress here. I've installed these glass block tiles which are fitted onto a large wooden batten here, so it's very solid and got a good foundation. Expanded, formed the gap, hang a bit of normal nails or something in that gap just to fill it up, and I've got something then solid for tile to up against. So you've got the drilled 4 lights in a square fashion, and I've got this one then above the bath, and then the fan will go there. This light isn't up because it gets up so much heat, and because the insulation above, it'll just probably melt the cables, so that's there as a temporary measure until I get a energy efficient one. My reveal look with the 5 LED lights, they'll obviously go all the way in once it's tiled. The bath panel's only plugged in place, it's not fixed yet. I'll do that once the floor is down, but I've put 5 LEDs in there as well, look, see. And they give off quite a bit of light as well. These are the tiles we have chosen. It's a bit of expanding foam now. Basically, most of the bathrooms will be done in this white. I'm going to have a border about that pink strip sort of height all the way around the bathroom, into the reveal and around. And I'm going to do that in like mosaics, like a black and chrome mosaics. This edge here, these edges, this edge and this edge here will all be done in a chrome bead. I'll probably put like a glass mosaic above there, and then another strip of mosaics along the bottom there. I'm going to have a stripe of mosaics down the middle there, in line with that reveal, and then more white tiles above, same ones, there they all are there. I'm thinking of possibly every other row altering the direction. Well, I'll see what Peter Booth has to say on that. You might not think it's a good idea, and I'll go on his advice. All these lights have a chrome cover which go over the lights, but the ceiling needs another coat of white paint, so I'll put them on afterwards. But the toilet's all in and working, and it's got soft close lids, which is nice. This is my cable for my mirror, which is going there. The radiator's going there. It's a chrome towel radiator, and obviously the sink is going there. I've got these studs in now. These are pretty solid, these are. There's a big wooden batten there. They're cut parallel out to reposition the batten, so I've done that. There's a nice big thick batten there, and the waist is the right height, and so is the plumbing. And obviously it's got to paint the door and all that, but I'll be done after it's all tiled when we get in there. All the holes are filled, everything's looking tidy here. The ceiling wasn't plastered last time, now it is. So there we have it. Right, I'll update you later on when the tiling's done.